welcome to my channel, Becoming Bev. Today I'm going to show you my new van build. It's a 2021 Ram ProMaster. Jonnie from the YouTube channel Jonnies Journey did my build out. She did all of the electrical wiring, all of the woodwork, the plumbing, really brought my ideas and design to life. We just finished the build about 3 weeks ago. I've taken the van on a couple of short trips to some van rallies, and I've been so pleased with everything in it. I've been collecting inspiration ideas for a couple of years now, and I feel like being in van life with my other van really helped me to understand the things that I wanted done differently. The color theme of the van actually started because of the outside color. I knew I didn't want a white van, and because my other van had 2 doors, I love the idea of having doors on both sides. When this one came up, it just happened to be at the dealership in the next town over, and the second I saw it, I'm like, that's my van. This build has lots of rich colors, and it kind of has like a 1920s train car or that speakeasy kind of vibe. Come on in and let me show you around. I'll start off here with what we've named the cool couch. I took this idea from boating. I saw an ice chest that had this back that you could move back and forth. When the back is this way, I can sit inside and have a couch in the van, but then I just swivel the back over the other way and I can sit up here and look out. We call it the cool couch because the car refrigerator is inside this box. We kept an opening here so you can see the controls on the car refrigerator. Jonnie made a couple of nooks so I could reach in and lift the handles to the refrigerator up. And then we also cut a hole in it to vent the refrigerator. So I found this beautiful agate table on Facebook Marketplace, and it had this crazy, retro silver base with it. So I took it off the base. I took it over to my guys at Granite Guys Creations, and they mounted it on this lagoon swivel. It's like my little breakfast table or a place to put my laptop and get a little editing done. Sit here in the mornings, have my coffee, and I love that it's on this swivel. I've always loved the mirror type dressers and mirror furniture, so I was trying to find a way to incorporate that in my build. And what I came up with was, these are old picture frames I got from Fred's Bargain Barn here in Fredericktown. We spray painted them gold, and then this is mirror plexiglass. So all the mirrors that I have in the van, I feel like give it a more expansive feel. I think it just created this really beautiful, unique galley. All the drawers are on self-closing glides, so I can just gently push them and they close themselves. It's been good so far going down the road. I haven't had any drawers flying open or anything like that. I think the countertop is a really unique feature of this van. The wood is called African Sapele, and I just trusted my guys over at Cedar Creek Hardwoods. He suggested that we go with this, and I trusted his judgment, and it couldn't have turned out prettier in my opinion. In the sunlight, it glistens almost like tiger's eye. Whenever Jonnie cut the wood for the sink, I asked her if she could make me a cutting board out of the little square that she cut out. So the cutting board fits perfectly into the sink and gives me that little bit of extra counter space. It was important for me to have a bathroom that I could go in and close the door. And I love the idea of having a full shower instead of just an outdoor shower. This door, I had seen the idea with the wood inset, and I showed it to Jonnie, and at one point I was ready to give up on this, and she says, no, we can do it. One of my favorite moments of this build was when you were working on the door and you had it laid out, on the table, and you were standing at the end looking at it. Will you share that?
When I was building the door, and so Bev gave me a picture and she said, do you think we can do this? And I thought, let's try. One of the things that I've always struggled in my life with was, would my dad be proud? And really, when I looked at that door and it was done, and I loved it so much and you loved it so much, I knew my dad would love that. And it was like he loved that rich wood. So I knew, there's things in life you know, you want to make your parents proud even when you're old. I'm like,
The door, we did an inset where the knot holes were. I poured resin. I didn't realize the knot hole went all the way through, and I ended up with resin all the way down my leg. My shoe was stuck to my foot. So that was a bit of an ordeal. We went with tempered glass for the glass, and then just a plastic window film for a bit of privacy and to give it that kind of cool waterfall look. I got the smallest RV shower pan I could find. There's limited space in the van, but it's still big enough for me to get in here and shower. I have a Bosch hot water heater on a switch. So I flip that switch up, and 10 minutes later, I've got 4.5 gallons of hot water, which is plenty to take a van shower. Now, one of the unique features I feel like in this van is the way that we created the toilet. I have a composting toilet, but when I lift this latch up, it tucks up under the bed of the van, and when I want to use it, I just pull it out and set it in the shower floor. So most of the time the toilet stays out unless I want to shower, and then I just tuck it in this nook up under the bed. We did a rubber seal around the door to create a waterproof compartment there for when I do take a shower. On this side, I wanted this opening as wide as possible. So we wanted to create the closet being as narrow as possible. So we ended up putting the closet down here at the bottom, and basically we just measured a hanger and created the closet down below. The van is sloped up here at the top, and the widest part is right here. So it made sense to put the closet down here. And then up here, I have a couple of storage shelves and another self-closing drawer for clothes. I intentionally put the bed up high because I wanted that extra storage in the garage area. It's a bit of a climb to get up in there. So we created a drawer down below that also doubles for shoe storage, which gives me a nice step up onto the bed. So for the decor, I loved the idea of matching the colors to the outside of the van. So I went with these different shades of maroon velvets, and some of the fabric I already had. Like, I already had this beautiful gold swirl fabric. I'd had this fabric for a couple of years. I bought it at a little resale shop and just thought it was so pretty and had no idea what I would do with it, but it works out beautifully with this fabric combination in the van. And even like these panels, these were just the plastic panels that came with the van. So I recovered the panels and even recovered the little plastic buttons that were on here before. I keep my stove down in this drawer. I've actually got two stoves. I've got this little gas one propane stove, and then I also have an induction cooktop. With the three drawers, the cabinet, and the storage space up above the cab, I feel like I've got plenty of space for pots and pans, food storage, towels, and those little extras that you need in the van. I went with these little plastic storage containers for organization up here. So I guess I've got about 5 of these plastic storage containers. And once I feel really good about how I have the van organized, I'll label those so I can get in and out of here easily and find the things that I need. These little containers were just the right size to slide in and out of this nook. And then I just dropped the little curtain and it's all hidden away there. I also have a little refrigerator between the seats. I love having the little refrigerator up here because then I can access drinks and little snacks when I'm driving without having to pull over. And this is actually a little apron that I found. So I put the apron on here to dress it up a bit. And my mom got me this little gold tray, so I have a place to sit things. I put it on Velcro, and it also works for a little bed tray so I can sit in bed and have my coffee in the mornings. So I find the older I get, the more comfortable I want to be. In this van, I have a MaxxAir fan that's vented through that little back window or with one of these doors open. I've got the Velit 12-volt air conditioner, and then I also had the Wabasto gasoline heater installed. This thing is pretty cool. It hooks up into your fuel line on your rig, and it runs off of the gasoline in the fuel line. It has a shut off, so you're never going to get too low on gas. and I literally just flip a switch right behind the driver's seat and I can comfortably stay warm in here. So I do want to talk a little bit about the ceiling. Whenever I saw the ceiling, I just fell in love with it. The ceiling is made of PVC, which is basically just a plastic ceiling. It was really easy to cut, it was really easy to install, and it's pretty lightweight, which I feel like works out really good. I feel like it made for just a beautiful, unique, ornate ceiling. Europe does ceilings better than we do in the United States, so I think it was fun to just kind of have that European ceiling kind of feel in here. I went with this maroon and gold wallpaper, which again was a very lightweight solution. We were having a bit of a challenge blending it with the ceiling, so I feel like whenever we combined this little bit of almost like a little crown molding up here, I feel like it did a good job combining the wallpaper with the ceiling. And again, these plexiglass mirrors make me feel like I'm in an expansive space. This was kind of a fun little unique touch. Jonnie installed this window so I could have some circulation with the MaxxAir fan back here. And then I created this little window blind, and it's just foam core, and I cut it in two so I could fold it. And so I just stick it up here in this window, open the window, and it gives me a bit of privacy, but it's also really pretty. And I only had to make that 3 times to get it to fit right. We just went with a couple of 12-volt reading lights in here, so they work out pretty good. I probably would have had them hung a little bit higher, so now they're more like little wall sconces. I made this little thing right here because I was laying in bed and all I could see was this door hardware when the door is closed. And of course it was bugging me, so this was my solution to that. So just this little valance to help cover up that door hardware. And of course I had to hang a little chandelier from it. I've had the windows tinted a bit darker on the van, so I feel like whenever I pull into someplace, I just drop these curtains, and between the curtains and the tinted windows, I've got plenty of privacy here. And then I also put the curtains on little magnets down at the bottom so they don't get closed up whenever I shut the doors. This is my garage area. This nook right here we made big enough for me to fit my foldable e-bike in. I don't have it in here right now. It has a flat tire. I need to take it to the shop and get it fixed. Garage drawer is on a 500-pound slide out, so I can sit on here, I can stand on here, I can use it for a step, and it's plenty of room to store like my cleaning supplies and tools and camping gear and stuff like that. The van is powered with a Bluetti portable power station. It does a really good job keeping the electrical systems going. I've got 400 watts of solar on the roof and a Velit 12-volt air conditioner. Now, it was a bit of a challenge to run that air conditioner on this Bluetti. We ended up adding a lithium battery and a battery charger, but all of that plugs into the Bluetti. So the Bluetti keeps the battery charger going, the battery charger keeps the lithium battery going, and that keeps the air conditioner going. I have a pretty long nook here with plenty of room to store my windshield covers, my lawn chairs, my rugs and things like that. And then this little nook right here, we put on Velcro. It covers up my water system. So I've got 21 gallons of water. I've got the Bosch hot water heater, and then all of my pumps and everything in here. I can fill this water up 2 different ways. Jonnie gave me a fill hose right here that I can disconnect and put water in that way. Or I can come over here to the side and just put the hose in right here. My fuse box and all my electrical setup is right here on this side of the van tucked in. We also put the Bluetti on a slider so I could get to it and look at these panels if I need to. Now, one of the things that made me pick this van was because it had doors on both sides. So I love having access to the back side of this galley from this side. The first time I took the van out, I had this door opening and my friend George came up and ordered a drink. That's when I realized we also had a bar. We had some panels left over from the shower walls and decided this was the perfect place to use those. I can turn my faucet around, pull this out, and I have an outdoor shower on this side. And since these are shower walls, it made sense to have these as the panels for this cabinet. I love the little ornate details, little corner pieces, the lion's head door pulls. So I'm still kind of tweaking this setup here on the kitchen. I'm just thinking I might want another shelf up here for a little extra storage. But what I've got so far is a couple of little shelves to hold cups and rags. And then I put this little clothespin hanger thing up, because sometimes if I'm washing the van, the towels are wet and I need a place for them to dry. So I can just clip them on this hanger to dry here. So that's pretty much my van tour. I have a few more things I want to do to the van. I'll show you that as we go along. So Jonnie, first of all, thank you for building me such a beautiful van. Like, there have been moments where I came over here to check on the van or measure something or do something, and I just like got choked up, like seeing how pretty it was. Did you have any moments like that?
You know, normally, the funny thing is normally I get real emotional at the end. When the van is getting ready to leave, I get emotional because it's with me for so long. I put so much into it, and then it goes, and then like I never know when I'm going to see it again. But it feels different this time because, for those of you that don't know, we're pretty close to each other.
We're about 15 minutes apart, which made it really convenient for me coming over here almost every day.
So I just feel like I'm going to always see this one. So it really was different. There was a few times when you came over, that initial impression, I really was looking for that from you, to know how much do you like it, because I feel like I'm good at reading people. You know, I knew that it was like we're in the right direction.
I had those moments a few times during this build. I had it when the ceiling went up, and I really got an idea, like, because when you're picking out all this stuff, it's like, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna go together or not, or if it's gonna work or not. And when you put that ceiling up, and I saw the ceiling and I saw the floor, and I just felt that emotion come up, like, okay, it's gonna work.
It really was that first step of kind of seeing your vision. I knew it was gonna be special.
What was your biggest challenge in this build?
I'm just gonna say the AC unit. You know, just trying to figure out how we were gonna get that to work on the battery system that we used.
That one raised my anxiety level quite a bit too.
Yeah, that was probably, yeah, that one was hard.
Will you tell them how you worked out having the AC run on high?
Yes. So the AC running on the Blue Eddy was not going to work because it was overwadding the Blue Eddy. So what we did was we took a lithium battery, that 100 amp hour lithium battery. I connected it to the AC unit because that was already run to a bus bar. So I just ran a line off the bus bar to the battery, and the battery works off of a battery charger off of the AC. So basically, when she is plugged in, she can run it on high. When she's not plugged in, and it's not 100 degrees, like a day like today, if she wanted to cool it off just a little bit, she runs it on eco mode. So that was the biggest challenge.
Yeah, the AC's working great now, by the way. I'm totally happy with it, or else I'd be on the phone, Jonnie.
Yes, yep, as you should.
What would you say your 3 favorite features are about the van?
The galley, definitely. I love the countertop and the doors. I love the galley. It looks so just beautiful. And then obviously the refrigerator bench is it's just very useful. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just so adaptable to your needs. I just really love it. I love how you upholstered it. A third favorite, like literally the design, your vision. I know that there's so many people out there that probably, maybe they watch the video or something and it's like, I don't know, like some of my build videos. When they see it, hands down, they're like, everyone falls in love with it. Yeah.
Almost everyone.
Yeah, yeah, almost everyone.
I love that I can tuck that toilet away in the nook and close that door and have that whole shower set up. I love that I have access to hot water now. It's like I can't wait to spend more time in the van and, you know, get in there. What I do is I lay around and I look around and I'm like, how can I make it even better?
It was a pleasure. It was so cool doing this.
Truly, in every sense, it is my dream van.
Funny, there was a time in the build that I really just felt like I knew what you wanted.
Yeah.
And you coming over and adding, you know, curtains. You know, I got to see the curtains on the back doors before we were even close to being done. I could see what you were doing with the window shade. I love the window covering. And because you were doing that, that was giving me more of your vision.
I knew Jonnie was on board with my vision when she added extra fancy trim to the garage.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah.
like I had bought these little corner pieces and I'm like, I don't know if we'll do anything with these or not, you know, and Jonnie, like, they're everywhere in the build now.
I love
Like
them.
she got after it
them.
with those little corner pieces. And then whenever you put the teeny little picture frame over on the ball valve switch and the water pump switch.
And those are the added touches that really, like, it just is wow.
That's where you took my vision and made it even better. Like, I come up with these ideas and I don't know how the heck to execute them, but teaming up with you for the execution of the ideas was brilliant. So how many hours do you have in this build?
374.5.
Okay.
Yep.
And is that typical for a van build for you? Like, where did that come in at?
It's more because this had a lot, like the door took me a while to make. The plexiglass gave me a fit. It kept
the mirror plexiglass was a freaking challenge to work with.
It kept trying to crack and kind of like I say splinter, taking picture frames apart, putting them back together. Phenomenal. It turned out phenomenal. But things like that took a little bit longer. The shower in itself, full shower, I've only done one other time.
So how long does your typical build take?
About 300 hours, 300, 310.
Okay, so a couple of weeks longer than a typical build. Some people have commented about how like opulent the van is. And I'm thinking it's right there, you know, not too far from just a normal build like everybody else does.
Correct. And the fact that you were able to be close by helping with things like the upholstery of the couch, I'm not 100% sure that cushion
and the 101 trips to Menards or Gifford's Lumber Company or
exactly. So having you on site for that kind of stuff obviously saves some time.
Thank you for building me such a beautiful van. Like, I love it with all my heart. I love it. And I love the attention to detail that you put into this build. And I'm so happy that I chose you for my build. So if anyone needs a van build, you can contact Jonnie at Midwest Van Builders. And then she also does like little jobs, like just installing your MaxxAir fan or your air conditioner or putting a window in the side of your van and installing a heater.
Yep. One of the things that's hard to find is somebody that'll just take on a small project, and I find that that's very doable in my schedule. And
thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I appreciate my channel members and Patreons and my daughter. She's my videographer today. We're actually filming today from Fred Rock, our campground in Fredericktown, Missouri. You can check that out at www.fredrock.us. Well, the first couple of trips I went to in the van, I took them to like van shows, like a van rally or a car show. They're also called a truck-in, and my van won best of show at both of them. We'll see you on the next video.